So my name is Neil, and I'm going to be presenting on how Fanatics was able to alter their production line to help healthcare workers on the front lines fighting the coronavirus. So a little summary of the article that I found was that Fanatics was closed. Their factory in Easton, Pennsylvania was closed due to all the government mandates and the stay-at-home orders and the whole social distancing thing. So they were deemed non-essential. But the Fanatics president saw a need that was left unattended, which was the fact that there are doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers that are in need of masks and gowns to help them protect themselves from the virus. So what they did was they contacted the governor and the attorney general of the state of Pennsylvania, and they even contacted the commissioner of baseball to help get permission to reopen the factory, as long as they maintain the social distancing orders of 6 feet, so that they can produce these gowns and masks for these workers that are in dire need of them. So they got approval from all three parties, the governor, attorney general, and the commissioner of baseball, to produce these products. So, and the main goal was to produce up to 1 million gowns and masks for these workers. And the original thing was to distribute them to the state of Pennsylvania. But now, since they're producing so many and they see that New York and New Jersey are also in dire need of these, they're also going to distribute them to the hospitals as well that need them the most. So the topics that this article kind of correlates with production of operation management is the bullwhip effect, which is where you see a slight demand in a product line and it magnifies. So it's like that's what is like the most important at that moment. So they saw that there is a slight change in demand, so Fanatics was able to alter their factory and their product line to help fill that demand. The other topic is the value chain. So the value chain is essentially very similar to the supply chain. You have the steps in creating a product, but the main difference between that and the value chain and supply chain is the fact that for the value chain, the end result is you have to create the highest value product possible with the raw materials that are given to you. In a sense that these products are going towards doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers to help to protect themselves from the sick. They need to be the highest value possible. And this is in relevance to POM. It just shows that different companies have even though that they're a clothing company and they're not in the service providing medical field, they're still able to adjust themselves to create these products for the ones that are in need. So a couple lessons that can be learned from this is that, one, how versatile the raw materials are. So for baseball jerseys is mainly cotton and polyester and wool. So you would think those are just for t-shirts, baseball jerseys, pants, sweatpants, etc. But now you're seeing that these materials can also be used for safety clothing, gowns, masks, to help, and protective gear, so that they protect themselves, and that they don't have to always use the certain materials. That if all else fails, you can revert back to materials that Fanatics is using to help create these protective materials for these workers. And another thing is how manufacturers can make a difference in times of need. You've seen it with many other places like GM, Ford. They're all making ventilators now for hospitals that are low on ventilators. With Fanatics, there's a couple other sports companies like Bauer, New Era that are also donating materials to all these places and hospitals and creating all these products for the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers that really need them. So it just kind of shows that when times get tough, they're able to pick themselves up and be the leaders of industry that are needed in these times of need to help out with other people who are in desperate need. So a question I have for y'all is, how difficult will it be to go back to normal operations after the coronavirus outbreak goes away?
It won't be difficult because you're using the same materials for the gowns and masks as you would for jerseys. The only thing that could be difficult is adjusting back to making jerseys other than medical clothing.
That can be difficult. That can be difficult because it's a completely different, formation. How much you sew, how much you don't sew, and how much material is going into the product. Because you're going to use much more material for a hospital gown than you would a baseball jersey. So it's just a mindset you'll have to change. So, there are my sources. Thank you.